Welcome. This is my first official boring talking head video. I'm stepping into the world of YouTube, into the realm of YouTube, because I've decided to. Because I think with the short form content that you guys see, you don't really get a good feel of what I'm like. You don't really get to experience me, okay? So this is an opportunity for me to, one, educate you and also bring it into my world. Now, the first topic that we're going to cover in this video is false gurus in the self-help space. Now, I put a reel out a couple of weeks ago talking about why trauma is for pussies. And there was a pretty well-known coach who commented on that. And he was passive aggressive, and that is to be expected, to be honest with you, because that's how these people roll. And his comment was, neuroscience doesn't work like that, buddy. And for me, that was like a proper passive aggressive comment. So he then commented saying, do you want to debate about it? I was like, yeah, come on then, bro. I'm always up for a debate. So we did a podcast, his podcast, over Zoom. And we did the podcast, and I had my say, he had his say. And for some reason, the day after, he dropped me a message on Instagram saying, basically pussyfooting, give me 3 reasons why he didn't want to put a podcast out. 1, because it was too long. It was 1 hour and 50 minutes. Now, typically, podcasts like Joe Rogan puts out a podcast for like 3 hours, 4 hours sometimes. So, and he was saying, my people aren't going to be able to, they haven't got their attention span. His clientele haven't got their attention span, apparently, to watch that sort of stuff. The second reason he gave me was that, you know, we ascertained at the end that we work with very different people. But before we jumped on the podcast, he was saying it's good to cross-pollinate our audiences. My audience gets to see him and vice versa. So once again, he that was his way out, okay? And he kept mentioning the word integrity in this message. Integrity. The man hasn't gotten on. Bottom line, he hasn't gotten on. And the final thing he said was, we can do is, let's pull the episode and I'll reimburse you for your time with a consultation. Fuck you. I'm not having no consultation because you backed out on your word. You called something on, got battered, and then didn't want to put it out. It's as simple as that. I give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, bro, send me the footage. I'm not going to use it to defame you. I'm simply going to use it to put onto my social media. So he sent me the footage of only me talking. I looked like a madman just talking to myself. There was no context. If I was to chop that up, there would be no context for you guys to understand. So this is my exact point. This guy had a problem with me saying that trauma is for pussies because I really believe it is. After a certain amount of time, you can no longer moan about what has happened to you. I've whittled it down. I've got a system which only gives me 2 days before I'm back to normal. And I'll teach that to you another time. I want to talk to you guys. I want to be helpful here, okay? Now, people go through shit. You go through life and things happen to you. Sometimes they happen because you made bad choices and your habits don't align. Or sometimes things happen outside of your control. Family members pass away. Your missus might cheat on you. Something like that, okay? But how long are you going to choose to take poor actions going further because of the thing that's happened to you? At one point, over time, people talk about healing, okay? People talk about healing. And time isn't a healer at all. Choice is a healer. The choices that you make allow you to heal. So if the end destination is being healed from said trauma, doesn't it make sense for us to do that as soon as possible? And the only way to do that, in my humble but accurate opinion, is raw action. Raw action. That is the only thing that is going to get you there. So look, if you are in a shitty place right now, if your business isn't doing well, if you had a financial hit, if your health isn't in a good spot, if you're having troubles with the missus or you broke up with somebody, if you haven't got a community and you're a bit lonely, the number one thing you can do is take action today. Now you're probably thinking, Imthi, what action? What action should I take? Now, for me, it's any action. Clean your room, I don't know, do the Hoover, wash the dishes, do the garden, do those tasks that you've been putting off. Now, if that doesn't tickle your pickle, the lowest hanging fruit, and it always comes back to this, is get in shape. Work on a project, and the project needs to be yourself. Get in shape, get really fucking smart, and start to make more money. And as soon as you embark on that endeavor, the trauma that's been holding you back somehow magically dissolves. Okay? Now imagine you've gone through something very extreme, and the coach that I was on this podcast with gave me an example because I'm going to Gaza in December. I'm going to do some humanitarian work. And he goes, would you tell somebody who's been traumatized and their brain has been altered by the catastrophe and the killing and the genocide and the bombing and the shooting, their brain's been changed. And I'm not disputing that, okay? Would you call them a bitch because they're traumatized? Maybe not this week, maybe not next month, maybe not next year. But in 10 years' time, when their mother, if she's still alive, if their mother or their sister or their family needs for that child, that man, to go to work, they are gonna say, sort your fucking shit out. Eventually, they will say, stop being a bitch. Now, I'm not downplaying anybody who's been through anything, because I've been through stuff as well myself. There's no medals for who's had the hardest life, okay? There's no prizes handed out for that shit. Regardless of what you have been through, the only rational choice to make is to move forward, because you're gonna have to do that eventually. Or do you want to be the sort of guy who moans about, oh, I could have been somebody, but X, Y, Z, but I got cheated on by my missus and my head fucked up, or I went through the courts for my child and my head fucked up, or my business failed and it completely threw me. Do you want to be that guy in the pub who's talking about back in my day? Because we've been there, we've met that sort of guy. And when he starts talking, I could have been a world champion boxer, I could have been a professional footballer. You think, oh, shut the fuck up, bore off. Because we know, deep down, when it's not us, that there's still an action that they could have taken. Now, this leads me on to what I've been working on over the last couple of months, I say. I've been working on two programs. And the main program for me, which I think is the best bang for buck, is the 28-day Edge Reboost. This is for men 30 plus and helps them to stop fucking about and get their shit together. Now, if you want it, it's below. There's going to be a link. But some of you might be thinking, you know what? I don't need coaching, and that's fine. You might not need coaching. And for you guys, what I've created is a scorecard. It's called the Edge Scorecard. It's going to score you in 5 areas of your life, okay? And with that score, it's going to tell you exactly where you are lacking and what needs to happen for you to move forward. So that's there. You can use that for free. Anyway, back to the episode. So my point about this is, these guys who are talking about heal your inner child, who are talking about align your chakras and sit under a Bodhi tree and fucking meditate, okay, and think your way through something, you are not going to be able to think your way through a problem. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to take action. As men, we have to take action. We are not people who need to be thinking about our feelings for too long. Cool, feelings and emotions are a part of the human experience. And that's fine. But what isn't fine is for them to dictate how you act. Okay? So look, I've gone on a little bit. This is all new to me, and I hope you found this useful. I hope you found it motivating. And I'm going to be releasing more stuff like this. So I do want you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you share it. Check out the free bits underneath. Okay? And I'll catch you on the next one.